The New York Knicks have done a lot since their last championship. From Phil Jackson to Patrick Ewing and back to Phil Jackson. The New York Knicks have done a lot, just not a lot very well. However, it looks like their future is changing. Even though they just lost out on the Zion Williamson sweepstakes, they still have some promising pastures ahead. With young bright spots like Alonzo Trier, Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, and Dennis Smith Jr., the New York Knicks look to have a bright future. Not to mention, they're going into this offseason with about $72 million in cap space, along with the number 3 pick. So let's take a deep dive into what could happen this offseason for the New York Knicks.
It's up to you, New York, New York.
What is the best case scenario for the New York Knicks this offseason? They have a rare opportunity to go from being the worst team in the league to possibly a championship contender in just one offseason. We have yet to find out how Anthony Davis feels about new running mate Zion Williamson. However, odds are it had nothing to do with the Pelicans' winning ways as much as it did wanting to get into a bigger city. Clutch Sports is known for wanting to get their players branded and getting out there a little bit more than New Orleans can provide. Anthony Davis has said that he would take an extension if he did go to the Knicks. So what would a trade package for Anthony Davis look like? Without being able to get Zion Williamson, the trade package is going to have to be a little bit bulkier. The number 3 pick is obviously going to have to be in there, along with most likely Dennis Smith Jr. and Kevin Knox. This gives the Pelicans a very, very formidable team going forward. Most likely looking at Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, and Dennis Smith Jr. as building blocks going here into the future. They could also swap out Kevin Knox for Mitchell Robinson if they want to go for a big man. Zion Williamson can play some center, but he's probably best off playing the 4 most of the time. If the Knicks can pull this off and get rid of Lance Thomas's salary, they have a chance to have just Alonzo Trier and Kevin Knox and or Mitchell Robinson on their team to go along with Anthony Davis. This would allow them the cap space to go after Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. This gives them a starting 5 of Kyrie Irving, Alonzo Trier, Kevin Durant, Kevin Knox, and Anthony Davis. That is some worst to first kind of stuff right there. Now, they will not have any cap space to sign pretty much anybody else. However, there will be plenty of ring chasers and buyout candidates throughout the season. The Eastern Conference is going to turn into the Wild Wild East here very, very soon. The East could be more wide open next year than it was this year, with the possibility of Kawhi headed west and Kyrie headed to New York City. The East looks as open as ever. This would not jumpstart them ahead of Milwaukee or Philadelphia, however, it would supplant them firmly in the number 3 spot, if not higher. Now let's talk worst case scenario. The worst thing that can happen is nobody wants to take the money because, well, let's face it, the owner absolutely sucks. James Dolan has been the epitome of what not to do as the head of an NBA franchise. He has one of the most valuable franchises on earth and yet continues to somehow screw it up. According to Forbes magazine, the New York Knicks are the most 8th valuable sports franchise in the world. That's a lot of praise for a team that hasn't won a championship since 1973. The worst thing they can do is go out and do what they did when they got Tim Hardaway Jr. Hand a contract, hoping that the team will match it, and then they don't. This could happen with someone like Malcolm Brogdon or Terry Rozier. Now, full-on worst-case scenario is not only do they not find someone to take the money, but somebody takes their pick as well and trades up with Memphis to draft R.J. Barrett. You can't really have a team with Dennis Smith Jr., John Morant, and Frank Ntilikina all up on the same backcourt. However, if they do draft R.J. Barrett, I think he would fit in nicely right in between Alonzo Trier and Kevin Knox going into the future. So what is the probable case scenario? I see Anthony Davis seeing that they just got Zion freaking Williamson. Zion Williamson is the perfect 4 to play with Anthony Davis. He is Julius Randle on steroids. With Jrue Holiday still in his prime, if they can get Rondo back and add one shooting wing, they are primed for a big playoff run and future success. Therefore, I do not see the New York Knicks being able to trade for Zion Williamson. That might not be the worst thing in the world either. They will still have the money for Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. I see them getting Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, as well as trading Dennis Smith Jr. I think Dennis Smith Jr. has a lot of fits in a lot of areas. I just think that once you get Kyrie Irving, he doesn't seem to make sense anymore. So, now that the New York Knicks have lost out on the Zion Williamson sweepstakes and have $72 million in cap space, what do you think they will do this offseason? Comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.